What's up guys, it's Sean from Window Tint Warriors, and today we're going to be doing a 2018 Mercedes-Benz C300. I'm going to show you how to remove the weather strip and install pre-cut window tint on all the sides and the rear window. Don't forget to check out Window Tint Supplies for all your window tinting needs. Let's get started with the outside prep, and then we'll go forward with the gasket removal and inside prep, followed by the installation. Push to start, two clicks. Roll the windows down. Put the seats up. All right, now to remove the weather stripping from the inside here, I like to roll the window down to get easy access, and we're gonna basically pop it back, but right here, there's a clip holding the panel very securely in place, and we have to release that one as well. So we're gonna need a trim release tool. So we're first gonna start by grabbing the top between the rubber gasket and the panel. Place our thumbs on the bottom and just kind of pull back. It may be easier to start from the front. So you can use the gasket stick to release the clips in the front. That'll release the tension on the top that you can then pull back. The speaker will stay in place, and the whole key is to get the top of the door panel released so that you can work your way to the back, and you'll see that there's a heavy-duty clip in there that we have to release. This isn't my best trim tool, but this is the one I have because I lost my good one. And I'm going to release this, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did. There we go. So not every time this falls out, but it did. And basically this clip goes into the actual metal part of the door, and this just slides down and out. But typically you want to keep that in place so that it's part of the door panel. Once you have the top of the door panel released completely, we can go ahead and grab the gasket from the bottom, pull it up and out. Very simple. Let's do the same thing on the back door, and then we'll do the inside prep. On the back door, you can kind of grab the lock pin as your leverage, but you don't want to put too much pressure on this because you can damage it. So we'll do that, and then grab the back of the panel and just pop it back. Grab the gasket from the back. Now where this plastic lands here, it's going to make it a little difficult to release the gasket, so you got to lift it up, twist it back so it rolls back, then lift it up again and it'll come out. If you just try to pick it up, it'll hit this plastic here. Now make sure when you're doing this, you look at the panel and make sure you notify the customer of any damage before working on the vehicle. We already talked about this with the customer, so he's already aware of it. Last thing you want to do is not say something and get blamed for it. So let's go ahead with the inside prep. Then in the meantime, after I do the inside prep, I'll lay the dryer sheet on the outside. If you guys have watched a lot of my videos, you know that I typically use the razor blade holders with the button on it. We now sell these on windowtintsupplies.com. It's a lot easier to use, and it doesn't release on you. You simply lay the blade in there and then slide it back, and it's locked into place. And there's no way that it can fall out by pushing a button on either side. So these things are awesome, and they're the same price as the other ones, and they're better than them. Notice that I'm just doing a quick once over on the glass with the razor, not going over any of these etchings or the dot matrix. If there were glue, that would be a different story, but I'm just making sure there's no residue from anything being stuck to the window at the dealership or by the customer. But if there was glue or tint on the window, you would want to go more in depth with cleaning the glass. But the majority of the cleaning we're doing with the Blue Hawk towel. Now that we have all the sides cleaned, top of the outside is clean, go ahead and lay out the dryer sheet so that can dry while we're laying out the door windows. This car is very easy. This back window is very easy, and especially when you have a pre-cut kit or a pre-cut template, it's even easier. So let's go ahead and get those pre-cuts from the plotter and get this done. Also, check these things out. If you guys own a shop and you want to display how you cut the top edge, we're going to be listing these on windowtintsupplies.com. It's an awesome thing to have in your display area or in your showroom. We also have the mini windshield as well. Ignore my cluster of stuff everywhere. I'm in the process of reorganizing my complete shop. So enjoy the view. The quarter window, another quarter window. You have the back window here, which we'll do last. We have the back doors that we just cut. We're doing 5 on all the rear windows and the rear doors, and 20% on the 2 front doors. Swap the rollout with the 20% for the 2 fronts. All right, so while the 2 front doors cut, I'm gonna start laying out the back doors. It's all about having a system and working with the flow of other things happening at the same time in order to get it done in a speedy process. If you're doing this as a hobby, then none of this really time management matters at all. But if you're doing this as a business, we all know time is money. So we have this quarter glass here. I like to air peel this, so I'll hold it in my mouth, spray squeegee spray. There's my 3.5 turbo squeegee without the handle, link in the bio. Wipe after each squeegee stroke. Do the air peel, spray, lay on my hand, and place in place. We got the front door laid out. We got the back doors laid out. We got the rear quarter on. The rear window dryer sheet is drying, so once we get these doors on, we'll slap that back window on, get it shrunk and installed. I like to start with the front door. Do a rinse down the sides, the bottom, and center. Our spray squeegee spray with a 5.5-inch yellow turbo squeegee. Link in the bio. Once we go from front to back, we'll go down the back to push all of that down. Then we'll do a rinse across the back, the bottom, and the front. Soap up the center. With our pre-cut, we'll pull the release liner, spray at the same time. Grab it from the back bottom, put our hand under, and we'll bottom load it. Now, bottom loading can get a little intimidating to watch, but once you get a hang of it and you know how to pop the panels on every car, which I make a video for almost every type of make and model, and I'm working on building that database bigger and bigger, you can just reference to my videos or join Bottom Loaders Facebook group, and they post videos in there also on various different year makes and models. So once you have that bottom in, line up the top nice and tight. You always want to check your back edge to make sure you're back far enough you don't have a gap on the back. Then do extra adjustments to the top. Spray it up, squeegee it in place, front to back on the top, overlapping strokes, down the back, into the front. Then we'll take our Easy Reach, gold, platinum, ultra or not, they all work great. Start from the top, and from the front, I like to start from the middle and push my way up. Then we'll go with the heat gun with the Blue Hawk towel, link in the bio, Gray Loco card, link in the bio, and push out that top. With the heat gun, link in the bio. So what we're doing here is we're heating up the top edge of the glass, causing the glue to bond faster, pushing out the water with the Gray Loco card, and soaking it up with the Blue Hawk towel all at the same time. Do a final check from the outside, wipe that excess water off, evaporate it with the heat gun, look for any contaminants, and I always take the little chiseler, link in the bio, to push out those top corners to make sure that they're pushed down and adhered into place so that when you roll it up, you don't get any peel back, and it just gives you that extra sense of security. Go ahead and roll that up, spray the bottom, for a door panel wipe, squeegee this out. Very simple. Once you learn it, you become a pro, just like me. Easy Reach down the sides. So you have one finger left here, and spray a little soapy water to lubricate it. Use the Gray Loco card and the heat gun. Heat that up until it gets a little squiggly and push it out. Now you may have noticed that on the door panel we have some watermarks here. This is completely normal to happen. When I'm using baby shampoo or baby soap in my soapy water mixture, so it won't cause any actual damage to this. This is just from the customer applying a dressing to the interior and the baby shampoo kind of removing that dressing in these areas. So all we have to do is when we're done, we'll let this dry, see where the inconsistencies are, and we'll smooth it out and clean the rest of it with some interior cleaner and just some of the soapy water to even it out. It's not actual damage, just from it getting wet. I like to always spray the top edge even after I mounted it, just to give it one more squeegee to remove any contaminants that could be on the top edge. Wipe the top edge with my finger, and then we'll do the spray squeegee spray on the inside. On vehicles that have a tighter gasket on either side, which is the front side on the C300 rear doors, I'll take the Easy Reach and spray at the same time, just to make sure we're lubricated in that tight area. And then we'll spray after this. Flush down the side that we finished on, across the bottom and the back and the middle. This is the 5% on the back doors. Grab that bottom corner, do a little flipperoo. Bottom load that front corner in first. Get it down as far as you can. Then we'll work the top corner in. It gets a little finicky on these back windows because they get very square and there's little room to really shift around with. Once we have that top in, we'll get that back in, slide the back into place since that has more loose space to work with. We'll lay the front in and then we'll slide it in. And then we'll even it out between the front and the back so there's even coverage. Check it from the outside to make sure there's no gap. We look good. This film's gonna move around a little because I have extra soapy water because it's very hot and humid here. So we'll readjust that and squeegee it into place. As I hold it with my left hand. Since this side is very open, I'll use the gray Lico card to push into the sides rather than use the Easy Reach. And the front edge is tighter, so I'll use the Easy Reach long side from top. Once we went down the sides, we'll push out the top with the Blue Hawk Towel, gray Lico card and heat gun. Seal that up nice. We'll roll it up. Squeegee at the bottom half after we roll it up. Squeegee down the sides and then shrink the finger on the bottom that we have here. So after we squeegee it out the bottom, push out the sides with the Easy Reach. Got a little finger. Shrink that up. Check the sides. All right, we got this back door all done, the front door is all done. Before I do the back window, I'll go ahead and put the gasket back in so you guys can see how that goes. So it's very straightforward. Obviously, this is the back half. You want the fins pointing up because that's how it goes into place. We'll pull the panel back, stick it into the front edge. When we lay this down, you want to lay down the large side first and kind of roll it down under this pillar here so it falls into place. Once that's in place, you give it a smack. And make sure it's completely flush and the panel's back on. Front door, same thing. Make sure it's in the right position. Pull the panel back, lay it into place into the front. Now with this back half, you just want to make sure that this part here goes under the plastic. So make sure you shove it all the way forward, push it down, and just push that rubber under the plastic because that's how it should be. Line it up, make sure it's centered. That clip is back in there. We're going to hit it there first. Make sure that clips into place and go all the way across the front. Alright, the side windows are good. Let's go ahead with the back window, get that laid out, shrunk, and installed. Very straightforward. So we have the back window pre-cut with the third brake light still in place. I'll go ahead and pull this excess off now. Should have weeded it before putting it on the back, but I didn't realize that I didn't. Pull this off. Some tinters like to shrink with that extra material on there. I don't. I just like to get it off and out of the way. So line it up and make sure you get it to the cutout of the window as close as possible, and then we'll go ahead and do our H pattern. So down the center, up and down the sides. Very little on the sides, just enough to get that H form. Split the fingers up nice. Shrink it up. When I'm shrinking a back window, I like to kind of focus on the top or bottom corners first to kind of get those into place, at least within the first inch, and then move forward. Although a more complicated rear window with larger fingers will be a different story. A rear window with this easy of a shrink, you want to get that side mounted down first. Work your way to the center, and then come to the other side. Do the same exact thing. Get corner mounted, and then shrink inward. Come back to the beginning, shrink inward. All right, now that we got the window completely shrunk, I like to spray it on the outside. Take your watch off if you have one, because you don't want to scratch the tint by accident. We'll squeegee around the border. I like to leave it on the back window. If you are shorter, this may be an issue. I have noticed when training people, if you're on the shorter side or shorter than me, it's hard to grab the tint from the back window. And we have other videos to show you how to tint back windows hanging from the side doors. So we got that border squeegeed. We'll go on the inside, do the inside prep. For the inside prep, just gonna spray it up. Use a light mist, especially on these Mercedes. I like to use a little bit of water, not a lot. Less is definitely more when you're doing prep with the water. Use a scrubber. Link in the bio. Scrub that bottom edge. Take the replacement white scrub pad. These come in a pack of 3. Of course, the link is in the bio. At this point, you should know everything I use is gonna have a link in the bio. Scrub that back window up really good. Wipe it down with the blue Huck towel. Give it a light mist. Use our 5.5-inch yellow turbo. Start from the top, squeegeeing, overlapping strokes. Then we'll go spray light mist, side swiper, link in the bio. We'll get one pass with the side swiper, and then we need to get below where the deck lid is, which is mostly in the third brake light area. We use the bulldozer and light mist with that. Start from one side, go to the other. Rinse that down very quickly, not too much water. Spray light mist on the whole window. And we'll spray the liner, peel the liner, spray the glue side. Go ahead and push away at the top. Get the tint to release, and then I like to swing it up. Which takes some practice. Definitely not something you're gonna do on your first try, and if you do, come see me because I wanna hire you. Get that Frankenstein over the headrest. Get that bottom edge laid down first. Slide it down into place. Once we have the tint lined up perfectly, no gaps, all the way to the bottom, lined up to the top, smoothed out with our hand. Go ahead and squeegee this out, starting about 3 inches from the top, overlapping strokes from the center. Same thing from the other side, across the top. Side swiper. And then we'll hit it with the bulldozer. And I always like to push out the top with the yellow turbo and the blue Huck towel, because water's always going to drip down into there. And then we'll go wipe the outside and check it out. Make sure we don't have any contaminants. No bubbles. So with this back window, I'm going to post heat it just to make sure that everything's tacked up before it leaves, because because I do get these cars done fairly quick. So the last thing you want is for something to pop up because it's not completely dry. But that's it for the back window. Bam. And that is how you tint a 2018 Mercedes-Benz C300 with our pre-cut kits with the gasket removed very easily. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to check out windowtintsupplies.com. Smash that like button, subscribe, and of course comment.